are recording. 3, 2. All right, everybody, here we are 3 weeks into the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Here's Cover 1. I'm James Blaine, your host, with Ryan Chadwick and Matt Couture. Ryan, how are you feeling today?
Man, we still got Concho Valley teams alive in round 3. We even got a 6A team from the little Southwest Conference still playing. It's an exciting time to be a high school football fan.
All right, Matt.
Bro, chill. Feeling good, baby. Week 3. It's going to be fun. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to a few games today. You know, we've got Sonora and Hawley here in San Angelo. We've got Legacy and Allen. We've got Wall, Lubbock Roosevelt. What are we feeling about these games, Chadwick?
I think that they're all going to be good matchups. I'm really interested in that 6A game. Of course, one of the little Southwest Conference schools hasn't played Allen since the Bobcats did in 2014, and we all remember how massive
that was the Adam West catch.
Yep, and that San Angelo Stadium was packed for that one. So this one's going to be in Shotwell. It's going to be a neutral site game, but really looking forward to that one.
All right. Before we get started, though, we're going to run to a quick message from the Bass Bunch.
If you're looking for a spacious SUV, this is probably a top pick. The rear spoiler and the roof rack just add to give it a sportier and more polished look. Oh, did I mention we discounted it $6,000 off MSRP?
Get a new 24 Nissan Murano Platinum and get $6,000 off MSRP. Jim Bass Nissan, Houston Hart at Arden Road or 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Don't you just love it?
All right, we're going to start off up in the big country with Wall and Lubbock Roosevelt. Matt, you're going to be at this game. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Wall Hawks are killing the game, man. And from what Chadwick's told me about this Roosevelt team, they sounds like they run the triple option just like Wall. And he was out there yesterday talking to Coach Guy. And I think Coach Guy even said something about they're almost better than Wall at running the option. And I know it's going to be kind of gloomy. Kind of the weather's not going to be great. It's probably going to be pretty cold, pretty nippy. But man, I'm looking forward to being out there on the sidelines and watching those two teams go head to head.
I think one of the most important things to look at in this matchup is how each defense holds up to defending the triple option. I know the Wall Hawks know the triple option well, but they haven't defended it all year, and that's one thing that Coach Guy said at practice this week was this is something that we're going to have to get good at quickly. Wall really likes to lean on their athleticism and pin their ears back and just kind of make plays by getting after the ball carrier. So positional football, disciplined football, like that's what they're going to have to do. They're not going to be able to pin their ears back like they normally do. Like sometimes they're just going to have to say, okay, if this is my key, this is my man, I have to stay here. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how Wall's defense stands up against their own offense that they run.
Yeah, it does sound like to me it'll be a defensive game. I mean, whose defense is going to show up? They're both running that 3-man option. It's going to be important to have your defense on point. James, what do you think, man, about that one?
I think, we know Wall loves running the ball. We've looked at Roosevelt's, and their quarterback seems very talented. You know, he's got over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground. Dang. So, yeah, this is definitely going to come down to a defensive battle, I think, and it's going to be perfect weather for it. They're both going to run the ball and grind on each other, so I'm excited for this one.
I mean, personally, I think that Wall has the edge in this one athletically. Wall is filled with athletes to the brim in the 3A level, you know. But Coach Guy said himself he thinks that Lubbock Roosevelt might even run the triple option better than Wall does. So I think time of possession will be key. I think whoever controls the line of scrimmage is going to win this game. So I think the Hawks are going to have to create a turnover or two to make sure that they can put this one away. Because at one point it was crazy in the interview or before the interview, Coach Guy said that a couple games ago this Lubbock Roosevelt team got the ball back with like a minute left in the first quarter and went on a 26-play drive to end the half. Right?
Oh, man.
Can you imagine that? Like the other team's just sitting there chomping at the bit on the sideline.
Interesting.
And they just never get the ball back.
Well, that's how I think Wall has to play this game. They're going to have a couple of those long drives and just grind out the clock. And that's Wall's football. That's Wall's brand of football, right?
You know what else, though? I haven't seen Roosevelt in person, but I've seen video of them. Definitely seen the Wall Hawks live, and man, Wall's big though, and they're conditioned at this point. So I feel like it comes down third, fourth quarter deep. They might be able to outsize them, and their conditioning may be able to hold up, and they may be able to get the win because of those two things.
One thing to remember about Lubbock Roosevelt, though, is they do not punt the football. They've punted the football 5 or 6 times the entire season. Even if it's 4th and 10 on their own 20, they might go for it.
I love it.
They've they've had a lot of success in going for it on 4th down, and they get it most of the time. So Wall needs to be prepared to play all 4 down. So you say they're conditioned. We'll see how conditioned they are, Matt. Go ahead and tell us.
Do they do the tush push out there at Lubbock Roosevelt?
I mean, maybe. I haven't seen them run the tush push, but they do like run it.
All right, Matt, tell us when and where is this game at?
Yeah, so this game's going to be in Sweetwater. I'll be out there on the sidelines. It's going to be at 6 p.m., Sweetwater, Texas. Let's do it. Friday night.
All right. You heard him, Sweetwater, Texas.
Mustang Bowl.
The Mustang Bowl. All right, we're going to throw to a quick a message from our friends over at Angelo Bolt. Take it away.
All right, our coverage of the Wall Hawks is brought to you by Angelo Bolt, located at 808 Warehouse Road. Opened in 1994, Angelo Bolt and Industrial Supply has served the Concho Valley for 29 years and counting. Angelo Bolt is the go-to place for fasteners, power tools, air compressors, safety equipment, and everything in between. Chances are, Angelo Bolt will always have what you need when you need it, and in the rare chance they don't have it, have that odd fastener or special part you're looking for, they'll find it fast. No request is too big or small at Angelo Bolt at 808 Warehouse Road, where the customer service is their top priority. Thank you, Angelo Bolt, for bringing us all this Wall Hawks coverage throughout the playoffs.
All right, moving on. We're just moving right on into it. Sonora Hawley is taking place here in San Angelo. This is the same venue, same teams in the third round as last season. Hawley, of course, went on to win state championship last year, and Sonora ended up getting beat in this third round to them. This year's a little more fire from that Sonora side. I went to their game in Snyder, and that offensive line's fired up. Jaime Butron, of course, is fired up, and Dylan Ford might have said it best. That's what at least Edgar DeLuna thinks, is that we're coming. Watch out for us. And Elijah Semeniego even he said it's not business, it's personal. Which you get some good sound bites out of them Sonora Broncos.
Nice.
Right. So you say it's personal, right? Like, is that going to be, like, is this game going to be different than last year? Like, I know Sonora, it almost seemed like Sonora was lucky to get to the third round last year, and I know they're better than they are last season. Is this game going to be different, James?
I don't think that they're lucky to get to the third round. I think, this year you had Edgar DeLuna kind of get beat up against Forsan, and he came back and played well against Farwell. He had that extra week. He didn't really start against Anson in that first week. Then he went out on defense and made an impact. This Sonora team, I've watched them since last season, but since this year, since their scrimmage, and that defense can get after it. And then you also saw it up front. That when that opposing team gets into that. We got to hurry and pass the ball. That defense gets after it. And that's something that that defense is going to have to do, because you've got Keegan Abels back there who can throw the ball. You've got the running back, Sakura, pretty good running back. He's not Compton like last year, who went off, but he is a good running back. And then you got 2 very good receivers in Deontay Ramon and Chandlin Meyer. So Sonora's defense is going to have to lock it down and play very solid. DeLuna's going to have to be a monster there at linebacker, sideline to sideline, and up front. Jacob Martinez, Elijah Semeniego, they've got to play.
James, historically, Hawley's had a pretty good program, from what I know, right? I mean, they've
especially this past
defending
few
state
years,
champions, yeah.
Yeah, they're defending state champions.
Yeah, dude. What about even farther back than that, though? I mean, does their program go pretty far back, like a Wall Hawks or like a North Lake Carroll, or South Lake Carroll, or you know what I mean?
I'm not entirely sure on that, but I know that since Mitch Abels has taken over, he's run a really good program there. And of course, I mean, last year they were I mean, they didn't lose last year. They were undefeated all
Right.
season. You know,
And
they
that
were
state championship game wasn't even close.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah, they
that
stomped
was
them.
that was a massacre. You know, what was his name? Roddy Hooper, their quarterback, he could sling it last year.
Shoot, they had the backups in the second half.
But this year, I think they've kind of taken not a step. I don't want to say a step down. They've obviously gotten beat 2 times this year. But when you're taking a step down from as high up as they were, they're still a very, very good, very competent football team.
Are they
How
just
many-
younger?
Yeah, I was going to ask, how many returning seniors do they have this year? Do you know?
They had. I'm not sure how many seniors they had, but those 2 receivers they have, Ramon and Meyer. I think one of them is a Texas Tech commit, they are fantastic. I mean, that's going to be.
Hey, go Red Raiders.
That's going to be the thing. Can Sonora's secondary keep up with these receivers, and that's going to.
Nice, man. I want to see that. Yeah.
Yep. All right, James, go ahead and tell us when and where this game's at.
All right, this game's going to be right here in San Angelo at San Angelo Stadium at 6 o'clock. And with that, Intertel is a proud sponsor of this COVER1 football coverage. Intertel is providing cutting-edge but proven technology for homes and businesses in the Concho Valley. Just like the game of football, a good defense is important to winning. Need a security system or cameras? Get a free quote today by visiting Intertel.com or by calling 325-658-8375. All right, moving right along. Chadwick, we've got Midland Legacy and the Allen Eagles. What do you think about it?
All right, so straight up, I don't think anyone ever expects the Little Southwest Conference to get out of that second round, especially these days since we're just always matched up with the meat grinder that is the Metroplex. But hey, this Legacy team has proved time and time again that this year that they are capable of overcoming adversity, and it seems like they've gotten better as the season has progressed. Didn't look like they were going to win another district championship at the start of the season. Guess what? They won a district championship. And when they came up against Euless Trinity last week, again, not many people were giving them much of a chance, but, Marcus Davia and company, he's a Purdue commit, D1 quarterback. He showed exactly why. Went toe-to-toe with a really talented roster out of Euless. And they ended up winning this game in overtime, right? I saw the overtime play myself, and it was a cheeky little 2-point conversion where Davia just gets the snap and slings it, only like a D1 quarterback can, And so look for that same kind of energy in this Allen game. I actually think that Legacy might match up a little bit better with Allen than they did with Euless Trinity. So Allen has been beaten a couple times this year, and then now the games they've lost to have been to stellar programs, guys like Denton Geyer, but and DeSoto. But they are a beatable team. But, I mean, Legacy is too, So, it's going to be really interesting on who controls the line of scrimmage and which quarterback play ends up being better. I know Legacy's really talented on the outside and their receivers, and they got a really good running back this year. But this game's really going to come down to how well the defense can stop Allen and how well Legacy takes care of the football.
Yeah, Chadwick, who was, you said, talk about the brothers. You're talking about that's in the secondary for Legacy?
Okay, so they got the Brazel brothers.
One of them graduated.
Yeah,
right?
well, one of them graduated, but one of them's still there, and he's in their secondary, and he's a very talented. I don't remember if he plays safety or corner. I just because how all over the place he is.
Yeah.
But it's a really athletic family. He's got a really good skill set, and I'd like to see another big game out of him.
Nice.
But yeah, man, like this year it seems like Legacy has the athletes to go toe to toe with some of these bigger programs.
Yeah, but Allen is like the cream of the crop, and I think for a while there, I don't think they'd lost a game for 2 seasons or 3 seasons. I mean,
so it's been a while since then, but it's still Allen, still the biggest high school in Texas, population wise, and
there's a
lot.
big gap though, isn't there?
Yeah,
there's a big gap.
What do you mean by that big gap?
There's a big gap in the population of students at the school. It's Allen, and then
everybody
else is way
Dude,
down
I didn't
the
know
list.
that.
I mean, they're
But
a huge
Chadwick,
school.
didn't you say you thought that Trinity, if they can beat Trinity, they might be able to beat Allen.
Yeah, like I said, I think if Allen and Trinity played each other, Trinity would probably win that game.
Interesting.
That's how good Legacy played last week. So, again, I think that this is actually going to be a good matchup. It's not going to be like that blowout against South Lake Carroll, 2 or 3 years ago when they lost 42-14.
Midland Legacy could be going that deep again.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them going 4 rounds. Like it's going to be tough, and I think Allen is the favorite in this one. Yeah. But Legacy has shown time and time again that they can play with anyone. Like if they show up, I do think this will be another 2014 situation when the Bobcats played Allen and like they, the starting quarterback went down, but when he went down, the Bobcats were actually leading in that one.
Dude, man, that's crazy.
We shall see.
All right, Chadwick, when is this game? Where is this game at?
All right, this game is going to be on Friday in Abilene at the historic Shotwell Stadium. Kickoff is scheduled for 4 p.m.
All right, and with that, Hartman Roofing, proud supporter of Cover1. If you want to stay in the game, don't get beat over the top. At Hartman Roofing, the proof is in the roof. From residential houses to commercial buildings, Hartman Roofing is the roofer you can trust to do it and do it right the first time. To get a quote today, call Hartman Roofing at 325-658-2888. All right, moving on. Let's talk about our players of the week real quick that we were kind of looking at, Chadwick. You mentioned Logan Thomas from Wall. What stuck out to you about his game last week?
I got a couple different guys that I want to nominate from Wall this week. One was Logan Thomas, one of their leaders, probably their biggest leader on that defense, if not in that locker room. Had an incredible game last week. I think he ended up with 4 or 5 tackles, a couple tackles for loss, forced fumble, or either that or fumble recovery, but just a real dominant force, blew up blocks, made sure that Childress was going to have a hard time moving the ball. Another one is Briggs Jones. I interviewed him after the game there. He had a highlight top 10 Sports Center worthy interception where he, jumps up, drags the foot on the sideline, falls out of bounds to really just kill any momentum Childress had early in that second quarter. And then the first play of the second half, he takes an end-around kind of play, sprints, 30, 40 yards down the field to set Wall up for the eventual game-winning touchdown. So,
nice.
Incredible game from those two last week.
Yep. Yeah. I wanted to let's talk about our player of the week, I guess. Let's go ahead and we'll just throw it out there. From Sonora, Dylan Ford, number 0. He had 6 touches. He had 3 carries for 30 yards on the ground. He had 3 catches for 56 yards, and he had an interception return for a touchdown. This dude makes plays all the time. He had last week against Anson. He had another interception that he took back. He didn't take it back to the house, but he took it back a good distance. This kid plays his absolute heart out all the time, and he's a very, very athletic kid, very good at just everything he does. I know that in golf, he as a freshman and he's a junior this year, but his freshman year and his sophomore year, he won state golf for Sonora.
So he's just an incredible athlete.
Just a great athlete. And
dude,
congratulations, Dylan Ford. You deserve the award this week. And
he is our Carpet Tech Player of the Week.
He is our Carpet Tech Player of the Week.
Congrats.
Speaking of which, let's hear a quick message from Carpet Tech.
From Carpet Tech.
Yep. We just want to let you know that Carpet Tech is a proud sponsor of Cover1 Athletics, and this year brings you the Cover1 Player of the Week. Carpet Tech is your local go-to carpet cleaner. Remember, if your home is in a wreck, call Carpet Tech at 325-999-5142. All right.
Moving on to our picks. Let's talk about our picks and our takes real quick, Chadwick.
All right.
We'll start with the Wall Lubbock Roosevelt game.
Okay. I mean,
you may start with it.
Yeah. I want you to go, Matt.
Yeah. So I'm picking Wall. Not just because they're the hometown favorite, that they're close to our hometown here, but I think they're going to pull it off, man. I think the size, with the conditioning, and I know they're very similar offenses. It's going to be a defensive battle, but I think the Wall Hawks pulled this one off in the last quarter, maybe a couple minutes left. They'll score a touchdown. I think they beat them by 1 touchdown, but I'm going to say it's going to be in the 40s, 42-35, I'm going to say.
Well, you want a high-scoring game.
All right. Yeah. All right, how's everybody else going in that one? Matt, how's everyone else going in that one?
What do you mean?
Who's picking?
Yeah, who's picking who in that one? Who's here, I'll take it over for you, Matt. Oh, my bad. I've picked Wall in this one, 28-14. For a lot of the same reasons. I think Wall's gonna kind of grind it out. Chadwick, you've also picked Wall. You and I kind of matched up on that one. You picked 28-14. Scott, Ernesto, Yantis, and have all gone Wall. I think that's kind of but besides Trammell's the hater pick this week. He went
Roosevelt. Huh? And I do want to note that the only reason why I say it's going to be 28-14 is because both these teams run the triple option. I think that this has a good chance of being the shortest game of the high school football season.
Oh yeah, let's take. You want to take bets on that? See how long this game's going to go.
Over under at an hour 40.
And half that's going to be
25-minute half.
Yeah, a halftime. So, all right, moving on, Chadwick. Let's talk about the Midland Legacy Allen game real quick.
All right, so Midland Legacy versus Allen. I have this one. I'm actually gonna roll with Midland Legacy in this one. I think it's going to be another close game, just like it was against Euless Trinity last week, and I think that the Rebels just got that dog in them this year. I have them winning another close matchup. Not going to say this one's in overtime. I think there's going to be a missed extra point here, but I got Legacy winning 42-41. And our picks are a little bit split on this one. I know, Bellini, you are going for Allen in this one, and so is Trammell. Scott Menchaca is also joining the Allen haters. But the rest of everybody else, Ernesto Rodriguez, Yantis Green, and Matt over there are all rolling with me with Midland Legacy. All I'm saying is this game's going to be a good one, but I got Legacy in this one.
All right, moving on. Sonora Hawley happening right here in San Angelo. Of course, Sonora has the great duo of Jaime Butron and Edgar DeLuna. Dylan Ford has really stepped up in that role. Cam Aguero, also at receiver, has been incredibly talented for them. Defensively up front, they've got Elijah Samaniego and Jacob Martinez to control things at the line. They're going to have their work cut out for them because Hawley is still a very good team. You're going to have to corral their quarterback, Keegan Abels. He's got two great receivers, Deontay Ramon, Chandlin Meyer, and the running back Skykora is, he was the backup last year and he has not missed a beat. Sonora's going to have their hands full in this one, but I do think Sonora's going to pull this one out, 32-31 over Hawley. Chadwick is going Hawley in this one, 32-35.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, but you see, I've thought, is Sonora going to get one of these, high-scoring games? It was 42-14 last week, but I don't think this game's going to quite get that high scoring.
I just think they're too banged up, man. Like, I honestly think that,
they're
still a little too injured.
They're healthy now. Whatever. Central boy over there wants to.
Jaime Butron literally tore his ACL or whatever. You know what I mean?
And he's still out there making plays.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I'm not being a hater. I think it's going to be a great game. I just think the defending champions are going to bring one home.
All right.
It is what it is, man.
I mean, you're wrong, but okay. Matt Trammell went Hawley, and Scott Menchaca, Ernesto Rodriguez, Yantis Green, and Couture. Y'all all went Sonora.
You know what, Coach Weston? If I'm wrong, I'll eat crow next week, okay? Shout out to all the Sonora Broncos. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it next week.
All right, moving on. The Pit Barbecue, of course. Can't move on without talking about the Pit Barbecue. For your Friday night eats, skip out on the pizza and hamburgers from the stands and stop by the Pit Barbecue. This week, the Cover1 crew will be eating some tasty pit pies, and man, they are delicious. Go get you one today at 2330 Sherwood Way and tell Jesse the Cover1 crew sent you. All right. Moving on, let's talk. Let's look at our some of these final thoughts real quick. Let's look at some of these games that are coming up. We've got in the 1A1 or the 1A2, the smallest of the small. We've got Benjamin, who might have the best six-man high school football player I've ever seen in Grayson Rigdon. They're playing Jayton this week. What are we thinking on that one? I know we're gonna have someone at that game, so let's talk about that one real quick. Ryan.
Benjamin's gonna win this one. Like, I don't think Benjamin's losing. I think they're gonna be back-to-back state champions. I watched Rigdon play in the state championship last year, and the coaches were very arrogant about it, and for good reason. They said he is the best six-man player in high school football right now, and they're right. Like, he's hard to tackle, he's elusive.
He single-handedly won the game for him last year. I mean, And I remember I went to that.
Good.
Yeah, I went to that. He's not just good at football. I went to that basketball game at 4 or 5 rounds deep against Erie and County, and I'm looking at his stats. And I'm seeing that he's got 40 points a game. I'm like, all right, what's that? And I'm thinking, this is the playoffs. He's played 25 games already. He had over 900 points last year at the six-man level, just in basketball. So he's very athletic, and I think that's going to be just a really good game. One of the ones to be at. Also, Jonesboro and May, they're playing on Saturday in Dublin. This is a rematch. This was from a couple years back, I think. where May won. May went back to state by winning this game. They are extremely, extremely talented. What other games are we looking at that might be good? Seminole, Glen Rose. Are we talking about that one, Chadwick?
That one's going to be a good one. We also got Westbrook. Who's Westbrook playing?
Westbrook's playing.
That one's going to be in Sweetwater on Saturday.
Westbrook is playing Borden County, and Westbrook, of course, is also extremely, extremely good.
I know Balmorray's still alive, too.
And Balmorray is very good as well, yes.
What about you, Matt? What do you think of some six-man football?
Yeah, dude, I was excited to see some six-man. We actually thought we had it wrong. We thought they were playing before the Hawks on Friday, but it's going to be Saturday. But, man, I want to see some six-man football. I've never got to see it.
Hey.
This season, we see all these scores up in the 80s and 90s and players making touchdowns and interceptions and picking up fumbles, the same player,
Hey, give it a couple more weeks, man. You're coming to Jerry's World with me. You'll see plenty of six-man action.
Oh,
you'll get back-to-back games. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, cool,
Yeah,
dude. Nice.
Yeah, no. Six-man. I at the May Erie County game, Wyatt Morris had 5 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown, a
That's
receiving
what I was
touchdown,
referring to. Yeah,
and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. So, yeah, six-man's pretty nuts and crazy. Other than that, we've got, I think Comanche is playing Gunter this week.
That will be an incredible game.
That will be a good one.
I can't tell you how much I'm rooting for Comanche in this one.
Yeah, no,
Why?
Comanche
Why not?
is extremely
Gunter
good.
is the defending state champion.
Yeah, no,
Go Underdogs.
And the winner of that one will play. No, never mind. They'll play the winner of probably Wall and Canadian in the 5th round coming out of in this. So that'll be a.
And that Canadian Gunter game was incredible last year. Isn't that Soupy Fog out at Wildcat Stadium in ACU?
It very easily could have gone Canadians' way.
Right? It was going Canadians' way.
Is that the one you were talking about was so emotional and just like over the top?
Well, that was Brock and Franklin in the state game. But like this one was pretty close to that.
Yeah.
Gunter won. Pretty much his time was expiring on a last-minute touchdown drive. Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah.
And other than that, I wanted to talk about the Albany Munster game is going to be played in Weatherford at Kangaroo Stadium. The Albany running back Adam Hill, I think he is a Texas Tech commit. So congratulations to him.
Nice.
Albany by 40.
Albany,
it don't matter.
Albany's probably going back. They are extremely talented, and Denny Faith has done. And I mean, he's been there for 40 years or something. He's just done a tremendous job this season and last season. But that's kind of our final thoughts here. Our final thoughts have been brought to you by Texas Bank. The COVER1 scoreboard, scoreboard, is brought to you by Texas Bank, locally owned and governed. Texas Bank is a proud sponsor of COVER1 Athletics. Just like the guys on the field, Texas Bank wants to show you what it means to be a team. From checking to savings to personal loans to commercial loans, Texas Bank is here for San Angeloans with 3 convenient locations. So when thinking of where to bank, use the local guys at Texas Bank. All right. This has been COVER1. Anybody?
Pre-game show is in the books. We only got a couple more of these left.
We do. Yep. Only what? Probably 3 more, maybe.
I mean, we're going all the way to the state championship.
Yeah. Do we do a pregame show before the state championship?
Oh, we'll have one.
Nice.
All right.
Cool.
Anyway, this has been COVER1, and we'll
See
catch
you
you guys
at
at halftime.
halftime.
Peace.